Could you imagine somebody stealing $38,000 from your bank account just like that by using your phone? Check this shit out.
It's almost like somebody stabbed me, took $38,000 from my wallet. I can't let this go. I'm never going to let this go.
Justin Chan is trying to cope with losing $38,000.
The night of September 4th, it was about 11 p.m. I'd gotten some initial notifications on my phone that were very unusual. My passwords were changed.
His iPhone had stopped working.
I couldn't make any calls in or out. And it shows up on your phone in the upper left-hand corner that there's SOS rather than bars that show.
The next morning, the Carlsbad resident learned someone had called his cell phone provider, Xfinity Mobile, and convinced them to transfer his phone number to a device he didn't own.
What?
This is known as the SIM swapping scam. And due to new eSIM technology, thieves no longer need to steal a physical SIM card to gain access to a victim's phone.
So I told them that this is not me.
Okay, so this is crazy. All right, so he gets an SOS. So they just took over his phone because of eSIM technology. So just because of this new technology, they were able to access his phone, tapped into the phone, contacted the provider, switched over the information. I mean,
why did you switch the phone line over? And they basically said, we have verification. And I asked them, what kind of verification did you have? And said, we had the last 4 digits of your credit card. And I thought, that was not me. And why would you do that?
5 days later, Chan got a chilling letter in the mail from Bank of America showing 3 wire transfers totaling $38,000.
So up until that point, you had no idea?
I had no idea. At that point, the culprit took hold of my email.
That's weird, though. Like, you know, he seems pretty sophisticated. You large sums of money like that, you would think you get a notification via, I'm sure this guy would have, like, phone notifications set up, emails, alerts set up for large transactions coming out like that. That's insane. $38,000 is going just like that. Doesn't make sense.
Account, and he had actually thrown away the notifications that I usually get from Bank of America.
And once you found
okay, so now that makes sense. So the person that got access got into his bank account, and then they turned off the notifications.
The 38,000.
Even when you turn off notifications, you get a notification that the notification was turned off, unless they had. So this person must have had access to everything: the bank account, the email address. They had the phone, so they probably just deleted everything. This is super sophisticated stuff. You guys got to be careful. Got to be careful.
Dollars was gone. What were you thinking?
Fear, distress, horror. There was $38,000 in the checking account, and now it was left with $200.
Chan is frustrated Bank of America didn't flag the wires as suspicious. He says they went through in the middle of the night while he was sleeping.
I've never wired money out of Bank of America. It's just been money that's been sitting there waiting for my...
And you know what? During COVID, I used to see this a lot. I used to get notifications from the bank or a phone call like, oh, were you trying to make a purchase at the grocery store for $50? My card wouldn't work at the grocery. This is like 2-3 years ago. And they would stop for like fraud alert just for anything. And they're like, oh, there's a high level of frauds going on. We just wanted to make sure. It's like, okay, I can't even purchase things from the grocery store without you guys flagging it. But then at the same time, Bank of America is letting $38,000 get transferred out of his account, 3 separate accounts, and nobody held it and did anything. It's suspicious. Same thing I saw with like Chase, a lot of Chase Manhattan type of frauds that we're having earlier this year. So we got to be careful with the banks, because I can see it being, a lot of money was stolen, a lot of frauds, the TikTok scam. People were like just taking money out of accounts, and then next thing you know, these banks go down and they don't have our money in the banks by 2025.
Nationally, the FBI says SIM swapping cost victims more than $48 million last year.
Wow.
So far in 2024, the FBI is aware of about 800 cases of SIM swapping. Intelligence analyst David Tomaz says at least 9 of those cases are in San Diego, but
I think there's massive underreporting, though.
Walk me through why this is so problematic for someone who's a victim of this. What happens when they get the number ported over?
they're accessing different accounts. They're using the two-factor authentication text messages as a bypass. So they're getting into your email accounts, they're getting into financial accounts, they're getting into any other online identity they need access to, and then they can wreak all sorts of havoc on your online identity.
How easy is it for scammers to use this to get into your phone?
It can be very easy. It depends on their technical sophistication and the training that the company is
So I
using.
just wanted to highlight another scam that's going on this season. I think everyone needs to pay attention. Too many moving parts. We're all like logged into so many different accounts nowadays. You don't remember your password. You're attaching one account to this account, is all authenticating, and always in the middle there's some type of scammer, whether they're here in the United States in some foreign country. So just be careful out there, especially with your banking information. I would say pull some money out of the bank if you can, and just kind of get your own safe. You got to find different ways of like splitting up your money. Even if you open up multiple bank accounts, it's kind of smart. I always have like different bank accounts, a business account, accounts for my mortgage payments, and just spread your money out. You never want to have all your eggs in one basket. We all know that. Just kind of diversify to make sure if you do get hit, it's not, you don't lose everything.